Hey everyone, Rather Incoherent here. Welcome back to Crusader Kings 2. I'm kind of at a loss here. Filkir Thordor has passed away, and Filkir Dag the Blushing has been left to inherit his Gavel-kind nightmare. Sort it out for now, find a solution for it for the future, and worst of all, and this is definitely the worst of all, in the sliver of time after Filkir Thordor's death, the defensive pacts against him vanish. I refuse to just worry about Gavel-kind. I have to keep playing to the best of my ability, which means I have to sort out who I'm going to war with, beyond Geir, obviously. Because why the hell is he independent? So first of all, I noticed that Dag could be a lot better at fighting than he is, and I'm expecting to have home gangs going off left and right for some reason. This is just a thing in my head that's going to happen because I have so many siblings and nephews vying for the throne. So I'm just going into personal combat, selecting Marshal, going Berserk. So open council. We're looking for very specific types of council members here. When I go to declare war on Geir, people who are related to me will say no because he's a member of their family. So when I'm filling these council positions, I'm looking specifically for a loyalist that isn't related to me, which will likely just be somebody's wife or husband. And I would send them back to their original jobs, but their real job is not to study technology or convert people, it's to vote yes to my wars. So the Irish band gets to live. We're done pillaging them, we have things to do. Now, I want every single person in my realm to join me in all the wars I'm about to declare, because I'm about to declare a lot of wars, I think. See, I can declare a holy war versus anyone right now, and it's just a normal holy war, it's not versus the rest of the world. I'm not going to go versus Catholicism, because all of the Catholics together is pretty scary. But, like, all of the Slavs, or all of the Romuva? I don't give a shit, that's not scary at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this off by sacrificing most of the people in my jail. Which seems like a random thing to say. I don't have enough piety to declare a bunch of holy wars right now. But 97 times 5 is almost 500, which is almost 5 holy wars. Add in what I've got, I can declare 7 holy wars once I kill everyone in my jail. That seems pretty good to me. Holy shit. Filkir Thordor had 194 kills throughout his lifetime. I was thinking Dag was going to get number 1 on the kill list, but I forgot Filkir Thordor just won that one too. That's 500 piety, 77 executions later. So, let's talk about holy wars, because we only have 5 of them. We're declaring holy war for these 2 counties, holy war for these 2 counties, holy war for these 2 counties, holy war for these 3 counties, and holy war for these 3 counties. Net gain being 12 counties for 5 holy wars. So there are some other wars we have to declare in the same breath. So we need to declare a war against Geir here, of course, but we also need to declare one for Ireland. Now, his wife is dead, by no fault of my own. However, his mom? Yeah, that was a little bit me. His 4 siblings? Might have been me. I still have his heir in prison, though. That's just because alphabetically he starts with an S, and I only got down to, K's. So let's get started actually declaring these wars. Okay, so I've declared all 6 of the wars that I was talking about, which raises the question, do I want to declare any more wars than this? And I do want to conquer Strathclyde and Pictland. I absolutely do. But Mercia is sort of a real nation that I don't want to actually fight right now. Strathclyde and Pictland are both big enough that conquering them would take up a lot of time. And I'm in a lot of wars right now, so time is something that ends up being limited. And it's more problematic not because Mercia can defend their land, but because all of these Christians might just push into my kingdom and mess my shit up. So really, I don't want to mess with these guys. Even though I want their land, I don't think it's worth dallying them right now. Which leads us further east to see if there's anyone over here we can dow. And wouldn't you know it, we can dow Radamicia, who has a liege levy of less than 1,000, and a holy war cast ally, for 4 counties. Of course, that means I need more piety. So we're heading back to the chopping block, and we're going to try to avoid, killing people who are worth 50% war score, because that seems good. But everyone else, well, they're not going to fare so well. So this is really funny to me. The heir to the Kingdom of Ireland is literally the only person left once I break 100 piety. I had to kill a duke for that. Did that give me way more piety than the other ones did? I swear to God, I was at like 99 right before I pressed that button and I went 174. I might have had a minor stroke. I don't think I did. I think executing dukes gives me more piety. I didn't realize that was tied to rank. That's pretty cool. I probably should have killed him first then. Anyway, that gives me enough piety to declare my 7th war for 4 more counties. And this looks like a proper war tab. We haven't done this in forever. This isn't we're blitzkrieging down a single county count in Scandinavia Minor. This is proper me versus the world war. So let's get into how do we win these wars. And the real answer is, my retinues will slowly kill them all for me. I don't need to worry about it. But I'm going to do more than that. I'm going to raise my levies, actually use them. I'm even going to call in my allies. And, money's not worth shit to me, so let's go to the realm tree and start giving people money. So as I went through my realm tree trying to figure out what to do to get people to join my war, I've realized that there's really no way for me to abolish the council right now. No one likes me enough for me to do it without, basically reshaping my council into a loyalist clusterfuck anyway. And I'm in no rush to pass laws. I've got all the time in the world. Or at least like 600 years. So I'm not going to worry about trying to pass laws in this lifetime. And instead, what I'm using my council for right now is just to get all of my vassals to come to my war. The King of Saxony, in particular, I want to like me. I've already given him titles and money, but he needs more than that, and he'll get more than that. He can be my spy master. And you might worry, isn't there a good chance that backfires? Yes, there is. However, I don't expect Dag to live, because we're about to get into the second half of what Dag needs to do, which is fixing the Gavel-kind of nightmare. So far, we've only continued as Thordor started, by conquering everything. So, about the Gavel-kind of nightmare, what are my plans? Well, I'm going to revoke all their fucking titles. I don't really have any other way of reclaiming the land. And I have to reclaim the land, because if I let them keep it, they're going to ruin my eugenics program. In particular, Geir has taken Ileana and her incredibly talented children. By incredibly talented, I mean they have the blood of Attila, but hey, potatoes, right? Has anyone ever actually pronounced tomato? That seems like a really archaic saying. I've literally never heard someone say tomato before in my life. Off topic, these kids, they're important to me. And they're in the wrong court, and I am sure that's happening more than just here, so I need to revoke all of these titles. It's just how it is. However, that will make me a tyrant, and then no one will answer the call to war. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call them to war, and then revoke all the titles. Which is an extremely short-term solution to the problem. So let's talk about the long-term solution to my Gavel-kind of nightmare. How do I fix this? I am going to be creating impromptu ghetto viceroyalties. You see, if I just search my realm by the oldest people around... Oh hey, look at that. Here's a 72-year-old guy with no wife, no kids, no family at all. So Gavel-kind doesn't break up that is your duchy of the Emperor. That all goes to the main kid. That's what we've established with Dag. Everything outside of this duchy, I'm just going to give to some ancient guy who's going to die soon and has no one to give it back to, meaning it defaults to me. I'm going to do that over and over again, so that while I have access to the land if I need it, for instance to buy new retinues every couple of years, I can. However, when I die, it won't be mine, so Gavel-kind won't split it up. And this is kind of the best we can do to solve this. It definitely qualifies as gamey bullshit, but I am not above that. So, yeah. Impromptu inheritance-abusing viceroyalties is how we're going to be solving Gavel-kind in the short term. In the long term, we're actually not converting to feudal to solve Gavel-kind. That's what would make sense, but I have a dream. I want to convert all of this to feudal in one go, which is a little bit hard to do. I want to convert pretty much all of northwestern Europe to feudal in one go. So Pictland, Pomerania, Poland in particular are all pretty big offenders. And I can't do that right now, and I won't be able to do it for quite a long time, so I'm not worried about converting to feudal right now. However, I do have a way to fix my Gavel-kind issue without converting to feudalism. You will remember, a while back, I was mad as hell because Gyla wouldn't have any kids. So I got distracted going through my family tree. Bad news, Katarina has no backups because her dad is dead. But she is the solution to my Gavel-kind nightmare. Amongst her great big pile of bloodlines, she has the blood of Niall of the 9 hostages, which enables Tanistry succession. So once her grandkids end up on the throne, we're never going to have this problem again. Tanistry only, we're done. However, until then, we have no way of solving this other than fake viceroyalties. Now, while going through the screen, I found out some other things, aside from the tragedy of that man's death. So here's Hrothgar, Hrothgar's host, and no surprise, he's useless. He's still trying to pillage my lands like an idiot. But Carl, previously of Carl's host, is now Carl the Conqueror, who owns 3 counties in Austrasia, which is a little bit crazy to me. Good job, kid. So, I was doing something before I got lost on that rabbit hole. Some fun things I learned while I was in that rabbit hole, though. Fylkir Thordor was born January 1st and died January 28th. He made it less than a month past 80, and also, his first great-great-grandson was born less than 3 months, I think? Yes, about 3 months before he died. So he literally just hit those 2 benchmarks by the skin of his teeth. I think that's everything to do before we unpause time. All that's left is to call in our allies. But that's not necessarily true. We can hire mercenaries. Gold means nothing to us. I don't see any reason to hire the Victual Brothers, because they cost 600 gold. I don't think the people at war with could hire them. But these other bands could conceivably be hired. So I'll probably hire all 3 of these merc groups. Yeah, I'm definitely going to. That gets me another 6,000 troops to play with, much higher troop quality than what I would normally have on top of that. And it just makes sure that my opponents can't buy them and then have them for their own defenses. We're going to hit the button, we're going to call in our allies, which most people will accept. If we actually look at the people who are going to decline, it's Refel, who has 2,300 men, but I can't possibly appease. Ragnar, who has 2,500 men, but I can't possibly appease. And hilariously, Margarita the Ruthless, who has 1,000 men. But as soon as these notifications go through, I'm going to be stripping the land from my family members anyway, so that doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's time to go. So, psych, it turns out I'm not actually unpausing yet. That was supposed to be one of those things where I cut, and then I go look at all the things on the map and decide what I'm doing. And I asked myself at some point during that, what am I doing once I get the land? Who am I giving it to? How am I shaping the kingdoms? And it made me realize I should be declaring war on the Canary Islands. I can lower my levies, no problems with that. Just open up their tab, declare war, conquest of the Canary Islands. So the reason I'm doing that is I've realized that almost all I'm conquering is tribal holdings, so I can actually get an insane retinue cap by just waiting to distribute all of this land. Just going like 20 out of 9 domain limit for a bit. If I'm going to do that, I may as well conquer the Canary Islands now. It already has a hill fort and a weaponsmith, which are the things I care about. And I'm going to be doing it sooner or later. It does delay about 15,000 retinue from getting home for like maybe a month. But I think it's going to be worth doing because I'm pushing my retinue even higher with this. And also, I just legitimately don't think this war is time sensitive. I think I'm going to win eventually no matter what. I say that, but something I should establish now. There are a lot of places in these areas like Garrison 800, Garrison 766, Garrison 800. These are really high garrisons for tribal holdings. Logically, since the whole world's not coming, I can just siege them normally, right? Well, a problem with that, supply limit 18,000, we're good, right? No, actually, supply limit 1.1k, we may as well be in Scandinavia Minor. So, I think I'm assaulting, I might not be. I'm probably assaulting, though. The wars are going to be rougher than I thought they were now that I look at the attrition limits, but I'm sure we'll win anyway. It's just a matter of how efficient will it be when we actually finish winning. I need to make a point to mention this. The best general in my entire land is one of the genius girls that I married to, who is a princess of Bulgaria, baptized by the Pope. She is an ambitious, brilliant strategist, patient, diligent, and just a little bit possessed by the devil. That girl has a fucking story arc, and I want to know what it was. Okay, for real this time, we're actually going. You know, to the rest of the world, this probably doesn't seem like anything different, right? New Filkir, same as the old Filkir. He took the throne, sacrificed about 100 people, declared 7 wars. He's basically the same as Thordor, isn't he? I mean, we know that's not true. Maybe he will be. Maybe, against all odds, Filkir Dag will live to make me actually like him. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to get him assassinated very soon. The reason I think that he's likely going to get assassinated is now that everyone's answered their calls to war. Let's actually confirm that real quick. For some reason, it didn't call Saxony. Well, they're like the most important person, so we're gonna press that again. After that goes through, we're going to enact our tyranny and start fixing Gavelkind. So that's Gare reconquered. Welcome back to the fold, you son of a bitch. So now that Saxony has answered our call to war, it's time to revoke all of the titles. Now, I can't revoke Gare's title because I have a truce with him, but he is a 63-year-old cancerous and firm man, so he'll probably drop dead soon and I can revoke it from his daughter. Now, I can also revoke the Kingdom of Sweden, which I have every intention of doing, but right now, the Kingdom of Sweden represents a rather large number of troops that will stop existing when I revoke this title. So I'm not going to do it just yet, but before I die, I definitely plan to. Now 1500 is way too much to be in one tile, so I'm going to split these up so they can walk without killing each other. So that's the Canary Islands conquered, heading up to deal with Ireland now. Ireland should deal with itself. It has more than enough troops to do it, but I don't trust the AI to get anything done. So, I'll be here. I'll probably do it myself. I don't expect a damn thing out of them. And once I'm done with that, the retinues will be dropped off here-ish, not quite sure where, and I'll be pushing in from the west side with everyone else. Renown doesn't much matter to me, so I'm going to use what renown this man has to get 2 more lodge commanders. If they're better than my current generals, it'll be helpful. If they're not, renown wasn't valuable anyway. And since I've taken all of that land away from them, I can now raise another 4,000 troops, which begin their march down now. So if you look at all of this, you can actually see there's quite a few number of pagans. Their biggest stacks alone, ignoring the outliers, is around 10,000. So while we could beat them in a head-to-head fight rather easily, when you actually take into account having to navigate your way through all of this, having to assault down holdings to avoid attrition, or having to fight this with one army while splitting another to siege them down slowly, it gets a lot more complicated and difficult. I still think this is eminently winnable. Also, something worth noting, Bavaria has joined in, but their troops aren't here. The reason I mention this is because Bavaria alone has about as many troops as the rest of the pagans I'm fighting put together. So I need to be on the lookout for Bavaria stack whenever it shows up, because it definitely matters a lot more than any other single nations. So I'm going to be cutting out kid stuff by and large, but I do think it is funny that I have 4 children in need of a focus, I'm just giving every single one of them thrift. This is what I'm cutting out. You guys don't need to know, because I've stopped caring about them. There's too many of them. Oh, on the subject of family stuff, this is pretty funny. So I just married everyone all forever ago. I didn't really do any of it for political reasons. And if I had, this one would have been a long shot. So this man, the Count of Somerset, has no heirs, no living family to inherit. Apparently, since I've married him, his parents have died, his grandparents have died, and all of his siblings except for one sister have died. So eventually I'll inherit Somerset from Italy, which is pretty good. Now I know it looks grim, but I promise you, the King of Ireland can find a way out of this. My sound just cut out. Like, the music just stopped when I assaulted them. That was weird. It's a metaphor. The music stopped for Ireland. Anyway, back on the boats. And yes, of course the 4,000 stack in Ireland chose to do nothing. What else would they do? They have so many wars in the mainland, all they can do is sulk and be angry they can't get there. Anyway, while we were conquering Ireland, my armies have finally shown up and started to, you know, fight the real war that's happening. Oh man. It makes me really happy that my family vassals are asking for incest marriages. Anyway, no, just like everyone else, you don't get to have the marriage that you want either. So the retinues are finally coming over to take part in the war. And we're just assaulting through Pomerania now, because we can't afford to stick around for the attrition limits. We just can't. I would like to, but that seems entirely non-feasible to me. I think I have enough troops that I can just assault through everything. I don't know if I have enough troops to, like, fight a dozen wars at once while fanned out. That seems totally unreasonable to me. Isn't this kid just heartbreaking? I mean, look at this. His only good stats martial, he's strong, and his only bad education is martial. I'm sending him that way anyway and hoping for the best. I don't need to go fight the revolt, but I do want to pop over and deal with this army. Yeah, because if I don't, they'll start unsieging behind me. I don't want that. This might be the biggest battle that's going to be in all of these wars, 1,800 versus 6,000. But I have comically better generals. They're straight missing a general. I outnumber them 3-1. I think that's this in a nutshell. A war that absolutely could have been scary if I were some other nation. But I'm not some other nation. I'm fucking Scandinavia. Oh, hey, look at that. They're already dead. Yeah, here it is. Here's Bavaria's 7k Doomstack. But that is Saxony's problem and not mine. In later wars, I might start dealing with this by fanning out. But I can knock Pomerania out in such a short series of assaults, and same with these smaller nations, that I just don't think it's worth. Like, Poland and whoever this was, I've forgotten, I'll probably siege down. But I think it's way more feasible in these first wars to just rapidly assault through everything I can as fast as I can. So this 7k stack is locked into moving towards me. I'm gonna head that way. That seems like I should deal with it if I can. And I definitely can, it's not much of an if. Also, my retinues have finally made it. We're gonna put our second best set of commanders in charge of that. And hop down onto this fight. Apparently someone's already done this siege for me. Good job, boys. So it turns out there were actually multiple big fights. Good job, pagans. You put up a better fight than I thought you would. That said, nowhere near good enough, I'm assuming. Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah, I said she had an arc like she was done with it. I'm full of shit. Bad news, I think I just lost my best commander while they were leading this army. Yeah, she seems to have... She was supposed to be leading the center here, and she just left. No, apparently she's in two places at once. That'll probably help her out quite a lot when she wages war against Bulgaria. Because that's what she's doing. Her claims are on fucking Bulgaria. She's only got 1.79k men, so good luck with that. But if you win, that'll be amazing. I can't help but notice their center is doing amazingly. I'm not sure if we actually have someone leading the center or not based on that. Oh, right, I need to manage this too. I can't just watch that all day. I'll leave these boats around in case I need them. I don't think I'm going to, but I have more money than God, so I can do whatever I want. Hey, I've got an attractive kid. Refel Oshi's son. Why would I want to play as Ace of the Unfaithful? I don't want this. She's actually surprisingly good. Brawny, ambitious, diligent, and kind. But still, why would we play as him? Or her? I'm going to vote for Sigurdur and hope that works out for me. Because clearly no one wants Magnus. Why does no one want Magnus? He's a fanatic and too austere? Incompetent fighter, I get, but... He's docile, a fanatic, and too austere. Everyone agrees he's a fanatic and too austere. So kind and zealous are bad traits? And temperate? I didn't see that shit coming. Are they all just terrible people? Are they just like opposed traits votes? So like, if that were the case, this man would be like cruel and cynical, right? They're not. Dude, I have no idea why kind and zealous are coming off as bad traits in the election, but they are. I feel like Magnus is clearly the best candidate, but apparently those are not the morals that my society has. I'm just gonna vote for Sigurdur and hope that somebody backs me up, because at one point we all agreed that Sigurdur was the best candidate. He had like 7 votes, and then we all split off in different directions. This battle has gone on for ages. I've gotten multiple interruptions and messages. This is the second assault they're doing, and I've missed the assault timer repeatedly. This battle is taking weeks. Alright, they immediately voted for Asa again. Alright, the battle's nope, that was the siege again. Battle's not over yet. Oh wait, I got 100% versus... Skalva? Did I just capture the leader or something? I got 75% from a battle, that would be why. I've had it for a while, apparently. I'm way over 100%. Okay, so the battle went well, but they still have 4,000 men walking around. Attrition tick's gonna hit like a truck, right? Only 7.5%? It is not winter, apparently. I don't know, the supply limit's 2k. I feel like it should be hitting way harder than 7.5%. Whatever. I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. They have 2,000 defenders. That's insane. This assault's gonna hurt so much. I don't really have a choice in the matter. This fucking castle only has 500. This castle with a full garrison only has 1,000, and this tribe has 2,000. It's brutal. They just didn't raise their levies in any of this. They're like, oh, fuck it, we're gonna die anyway. Let's make it inconvenient for him. Alright, if you want to. Like, we're just doing the assault, and it's just going to hurt like hell. I think. I can't do it. That's so bad. That hurts so badly to do. So that assault just hurts, like, way too much for me to consider actually doing it. I'm just put down to 4 stacks and just siege, just carpet siege. I'll still get hit by attrition, even at 3k. But I can't really go lower than that, because there's going to be a 4k stack right next to me. This 1k assault hurts, but it's nothing compared to that ridiculous 2k one. Alright, so I've gained friendship from asking for, Ragnar's help. Not the important Ragnar, though. Oh, hey! We also gained, friendship. I might have misspoke. Did I say friendship or patience for the trade I gained? Well, whatever. I meant I gained patient, and I also happened to gain a friend. Neat. So I need a new ambition. Which I guess is going to be Groom and Air, because there aren't any other options. Who's Bavaria actually helping? That's important. They're defending Poland. That's a pain in my ass, as Poland's one of the final 2 I'm going to be conquering. Let's see if any of these people I've been capturing are worth money. 7 for 102? That's just I've captured a lot. None of them are particularly valuable. We're voting for Sigurd again. We have no idea how this is going to end at this point. I don't really have a high learning skill. I feel like that should be in big quotation marks for me. 10 has to be the minimum threshold they set. So the 4,000 stack is not unsieging anything, it's just walking back into Saxony. Which you can probably fuck shit up in Saxony, but I'm not too beat up about it. Yeah, we're taking 0 to 10% attrition here, it really sucks. But so would just assaulting a 2k city, that would have been awful. Okay, so good news and bad news. Bad news first, I was just talking about not wanting to assault down 2k. And this place has 1,500, and my stack is smaller, so it's basically the same math. And this time it's just garrison, that's not even the levy. So that's the bad news. The good news is, we're currently paused, so we can click cancel, because this guy's already at 99%. So he'll probably accept. He will. We're not doing that. Okay, so with this war won, I'm going to hop back on the boat, and immediately jump down to Coavia. Hopefully my retinues will finish with Coavia around the same time that this finishes with Pomerania, and we can hit Poland from every single side at once. And then it's just clean up on Radomitia. The second Scandinavian holy war for Lithuania. That feels good. I don't know why. The effeminate lunatic Dag. The insult you are looking for is drunkard. To the naive drunkard Dag. How hard is that? Perfectly real insults to use, my dude. So now that I have his land, my new retinue cap is up to 19.4k, 2.1k higher than it was at my maximum. And we're going to keep gaining land. We have, 8, 9, 10, 11 more counties before we actually hand shit out. I really don't want to die before I finish these wars, because I can get so much retinue by doing this. But I don't know if I can actually live that long on account of my rather upset realm tree. Because it was sort of a lot of tyranny. You know, new Fylkir, same as the old Fylkir. What I just did really hammers in how slow carpet sieging as opposed to assaulting is. Because, like, these guys are all just, like, getting work done slowly but surely. They've conquered a nation already. Slow and steady wins the race. Also, I've finished 3 marathons. And yet, it's still probably right to do this sort of carpet sieging instead of assaulting. Those garrisons are just insane. I don't think I can actually do it. I'm just going to assault down this. Seems like a plan to me. I might have to regroup my armies over here, depending on what this guy is doing. I don't think I will. Guys, I really don't have time for this right now. What do they want? Oh, all of Ireland. Yeah, no, not going to give them that. Now, there is a 4k stack here that could easily deal with them. But based on how much they've AFK'd historically, I'm going to assume they won't. They'll take forever to get anything done. I think even if they siege all of Ireland, it doesn't mean shit. It'll just give them ticking war score. So I can kind of ignore that forever. There are solutions, though. I'll handle it in a second. So what I'm going to do about that revolt is I'm going to send the boat back to my capital. Once it gets there, I'm going to hire 2 more bands of mercenaries, because, again, I still have more money than God. I'm going to send that over to Ireland to deal with the revolt, and once it's done dealing with that, I'm going to send it back to help with these wars. At some point, I have spent more money on these wars than these wars will ever make for me. But I mean, let's be real. This was never a matter of practicality. This was always a because I could sort of thing. Alright, so down with Coavia. 21% attrition per tick, huh? Yeah, it's a fucking rough winter. Everyone's getting that. I can't help but notice I'm at 94% versus Pomerania. If I just assaulted down a few places, I probably would have already won the war and I wouldn't be standing in this fucking terrible land. Oh well. It's no surprise that with this many wars I've made some sort of mistakes. Or possibly quite a few mistakes, but I had to declare them all immediately and get working on it because at this point the defensive packs are all reformed against me. I had a very narrow window of time. These guys are just never on the ball with the defensive packs. I guess they can't be in a defensive pact versus me because they're already at war with me. I don't see any advantage to falling in love with this woman, especially since she's about to die of cancer. So she took the whole, you're a legitimized bastard who's about to die of cancer bit pretty poorly, it seems. I out-combat you by over 100, so sure. If Dag dies like this, then he didn't deserve to be filkier. Walk away victorious. Alright, 100% versus Pomerania. We're about to push Kuavia out of the war too, so we're finally starting to wrap this shit up. Right, I have an Irish revolt I'm supposed to be buying victory against. Oh, whoops, I just dismissed somebody else. Rehire them at the capital, I guess. I want to be sure that we actually win. It'd be embarrassing if we lost. Don't need your mercenary boats, I'm good, thanks. We're going to send this over to deal with these guys. And if the war's still going once I'm done, I'll bring them back. Oh, come on, the third Old Germanic uprising? Guys, it's Old Germanic because it's old news. Why are you still clinging to it? Alright, we'll deal with that one first, I guess. Since it's closer. I'll take anything just so you stop asking me to do things. Alright, that's 99 versus Kuavia. That's the war one. 6,000 stack, huh? A little bit spooky. Another Holy War 1. So it feels like I've run out of most of my troops, because I kind of have. I only have 18,000 of my original, 30,000 left. I've depleted nearly half of my stuff, and I'm continuing to take massive attrition ticks. But the flip side is I've won the majority of my wars. 2 of these 4 wars are revolts that I can put down no problem. Speaking of, I should actually go do that instead of talking about it and then forgetting I have to do it. So if I try to assault everything in Poland, it's not going to fly. I actually have to fan for this. And all of the stacks seem to have, ran away in this direction. Oh, wait, no, it looks like Poland actually wants to fight me. Oh, wait, I'm not seeing Gare anymore. He must have died of old age. Yes, and Sigurdur inherited his land. Sigurdur, bad news, that's mine. Also, we're late enough into the war. It's time to revoke your title, too, because I no longer need your men. Apparently there was 700 gold in those boats. You're just willing to take the fight, which is a little bit crazy. That doesn't mean scared shitless that he's willing to take the fight. It's 13,000 to 7,000. Okay, he's backpedaled. He's like, wait a second, what am I doing? So we're just going to smash this one army to pieces. And after that, there should be no counterplay. This is the last real battle we have. So I wait for him to lock, which should be happening very soon. And I move to get him at Angerman land. That is definitely not pronounced Angerman land, but I will never pronounce it any other way. And one of the main reasons I need to take that away from her is because this is mine as well. I probably should have waited a couple more months to do that. Oh well. If they assassinate me before I can do this bullshit, it's not going to stop me from dominating the world, it's just going to delay it. Anyway, we should still just landslide win this fight, right? Yeah. We're currently at 21 of 9 domain size, our maximum retinues are up to 23.3k. And on the off chance I die, I'll buy as many as I can now, which is going to be quite a lot. Yeah, 57 more retinues. Casual 10,000 more. That's enough that'll actually suffer attrition if I let it stay there. We're also basically out of prestige, and we're taking massive monthly prestige losses. Hopefully we get some decent prestige from winning these wars. We're also going to need to pillage like mad to get it back. But we knew there were going to be costs to doing this, it's fine. So that fight wasn't particularly hard, to be honest. I can assault this down and then chase them. That seems like a decent play. What's Poland's war score at? Only 25%? So, interesting graphical bug. 61% down here, 100% up here. Not sure what that's about. Back on the boats, we're going to take you to Ireland and fix that war. So, I have a couple of choices here. I'm going to assault this down and then split and chase at the same time. I think I have the time to do this. I am great. So now let's split down and figure this out. So I was sending 2,000 back to each of the previous tiles, leaving 2,000 on the tile we just conquered, and sending 10,000 deeper into their lands to chase down the army we just routed. And of course to eventually carpet siege everything they own. And the boats are finally on their way back to Ireland to fix this nonsense with the Irish revolt. That is not where I thought this was going. However, that works out fine because I have a 2,500 stack of allies, so it still gets crushed there too. So instead, I guess I'm just going to be assaulting through the rest of Poland because the garrisons seem pretty low around here. Yeah, that's only 530. That's very assaultable. So I said he was going to crush it because he massively outnumbered them. Oh, he did. There's a second stack of 1,000. Man, this guy should route to better locations every time he's run into another stack. Normally he'd win this fight, but he's got such low morale, he's just going to lose again. So I might be losing my mind here. I literally just sieged these places when they were part of Coavia, right? And they are currently now part of Poland? Yes? That's what happened? Somehow they're Polish now? The Duchy of Coavia hasn't changed hands. So apparently, directly after they lost that war to me, they swore fealty to Poland, just voluntarily. That's pretty good. That's pretty funny, actually. Speaking of funny, I am sad to say that King Theodoric the Frog is currently beating Saxony in this war. Which is admittedly the expected result, but I was hoping Saxony would manage to steal more counties from them. Yeah, it's retreated into my land again. It's ridiculous. I don't know how to keep doing it. So I've decided to split up my 10k stacks since I've dealt with most of their military and I only really have like 1k plus sieges in places like Krakow left. And I can't imagine losing the war from this point. We are just dominantly ahead in every respect. But who knows, maybe some other pagan will show up with a 10k doom stack and I'll lose control. Alright, so my mercenaries have finally made their way to Ireland. We can fix this stupid revolt. I don't know why they haven't. It's kind of weird. We're going to chase them around for a bit, it looks like. Alright, so we finished these two. Let's go siege down Coavia again, since apparently they joined up with Poland. Sick tactical plays on their part, I guess. Well, if you guys demand to stay on top of me and force me to take attrition ticks, we can just assault it. I'm not playing this game, AI. Oh, we're at 100% versus Poland from that. Apparently they had a shitload of ticking war score from controlling Mazavia, and they no longer have it. So that would be the war over for them. So let's briefly get everyone, you know, like, back in my land and not dying of attrition and shit. That'd be nice. And then we'll head into our final war. So who's left on your side? Oh, everyone. Literally everyone I've beaten is still in the war. They're just shifting over to the only remaining candidate they're allowed to fight for. That's pretty good. However, this is going to be the easiest part of the war. Poland was definitely the hardest part. Alright, well, everyone gets ready for their final war over there. Let's knock out this real quick. Because this revolt's just a waste of my time. Let's be real here. Sick war. Good job, guys. You really wasted my money. And, by the time these guys could get over here, the war's already going to be over. I don't need this. So I'll see you guys around. I'm probably the only person on the planet who can afford to hire them anyway. Alright, so let's watch the war against whoever this is. It starts with an R. They're not a real nation. Have you seen their borders? They're not a real nation. Radamici is a joke. Radamici is what Khazaria couldn't be bothered to conquer. Domain 24 of 9, huh? What's my retinue cap? I can get quite a few more again. Unfortunately, I literally don't think I had the prestige for it just now. I mean, I can try. There's no reason not to. So we just picked up another 17 retinues. Our current max retinue is up to 34,000, which is a little bit unreasonable. Also, it says we have 550 retinue archers. I don't want those. Those should be more like 1,000 retinue light infantry. So it took me forever to find them, but I finally found the archer retinues. Tossing these. And admittedly, I might not have the prestige to rebuild them, but that's not important to me. This war really is not... It's just sad. That's all it is. It's just depressing to watch. It's not really a war. Unlike the other guys, this is just one very weak count. Like, what's his... Yeah, This might look like I've beaten his armies in the field, but it was under 1,000 when we first looked at him. I remember this. It's why we doubted him. We didn't think it would impact the outcome of the war. It was just more land for free. Now, we are going to take somewhat catastrophic losses here to the attrition, but there's not a whole lot we can do about it. Yeah, you know, just casual 2,200 men dead to a single attrition deck. It happens. Don't really care about anything that happens to my co-wolf warriors. Like, yes, this is a massive pain in my ass to siege. I'm losing loads and loads of men. But counterpoint, I don't need them. I have plenty of men to lose. Are you fucking kidding? The guys traveling with the... That's so obnoxious. Who is leading the siege? Just leave. Don't waste your time trying to help them. Like, if they're gonna sit here and siege them while taking 17% attrition ticks, they can do it on their fucking own. I have no idea how they have this section of land. Like, none of these counties are connected. It's so weird. Oh, god damn it. Who is this? Stop attacking my unfinished retinues. Who are you? So I've basically wasted that whole army on an assault they couldn't really handle. But, like, I just want this to end as quickly as possible. Which hopefully is right now. So first of all, we're at 94%, and second of all, the thing that I can't siege, the guys who are sieging it just fucking walked away. Just like, oh, alright, if you don't want to siege it, we won't either. It's like, no, that is not the problem. So I'm sending this guy back to do it again. I don't actually know for sure that I'll get 5% war score, so I have to go conquer more stuff. Oh, thank God. We're finally done. It's 100% war score. We can go home. We can leave this frozen hell. Why did I choose to conquer any of this? Yeah, so I don't look like I've stack-wiped any notable number of retinues doing that. However, I'm not going to be able to buy more retinues until such a time as I raid something, because I am fresh out of prestige these days. So right now I have about 10,000 retinues total. And that's more than enough to go pillaging, which I need to do because I am out of prestige. So as you can see, I'm at negative prestige, gaining rapidly right now. And the reason that is because as soon as I get to a positive number, it will try to replenish my retinues, which will cause me to drop back down to a negative number, so then it'll maintain it, causing me to jump back up to a positive number, so on and so forth, forever. I'm going to go raiding. That will rapidly make me a shitload of money, which will help to solve this problem, and ideally create a large enough bank of money that I can hire my remaining retinue cap. And that remaining retinue cap will be about 4,000 usage of retinue. These are only 105 each, so we're looking at another 40-ish units of retinue, which will mean another 4,000, 5,000 units of retinue. I expect to be a little bit under 40,000 retinue once I get all of this done. The Despot of Epirus wants to marry one of my close family members. We're not going to be doing that, because that just seems like a ridiculous idea through and through. But it's good to know that other rulers in the world respect how powerful we are. Because usually they're in denial about it, like, fucking Norsemen think they're important, as I conquer the whole world. Okay, so I've quickly reloaded the game to get this pop-up back, because I'm going to do everything I can to get prestige right now, so that I can create as many retinues as I can before I pass off these titles that I've just taken. And I can actually get a little bit more prestige than just usurping those titles, because I have people to sacrifice. That's a little bit on the cacophony of nightmare side of sound effects. Also, I seem to have missed one. Now, domain too big, 28 of 9, we don't really care about. We can't fix that. Or we can, but we would absolutely never choose to. So now I can get a load of new retinues. Apparently I missed 2 of my archers last time when I was deleting them. Not really the biggest deal in the world. Oh hey, I can also make Ireland. So we'll do that for sure. That'll give us a load of prestige. And on that note, I guess I should, like, cruise around looking for more duchies to build. Yep, I can make Palace. And actually, there are several duchies in de jure Sweden that never got made that I can make. First, let's give away those titles we just made that we know we don't want. So to the obvious Duke of Palace, we'll give the Duke of Palace. To the obvious Queen of Ireland, we will grant the Kingdom of Ireland. which isn't even enough to counteract our tremendous negatives, although a substantial portion of that is just our domain too big minus 170. How to get yourself assassinated 101 by rather Incoherent. You need to die, just do this. You'll go out in a blaze of glory and your successor will inherit a massive military. Oh hey, check that out. I'm a Hemophant now, 50% chance to gain Cruel. Might have sacrificed a lot of people in the year since I became king. I don't know, is that enough titles? I think I need more, don't I? Hello? Yes, this is Math. Allow me to explain to you why we're holding on to all these counties like a jackass. I have 4 counties that in about 7 months will finish 4 tribal hill forts each. Those give 100 retinue. My tech level gives me 450% extra, so times 5.5 is 2200. Divided by 105 per tribal retinue is 20 or 21. Sets of 150 troops. So by holding out for 8 more months, I will get at least 3,000 more soldiers in my retinue. Do I need to break 40,000? No, of course not. But I want to. Oh, that is right, I am gay. That's not important, though. Apparently we're supposed to be hunting one of the sons of Fenrir again. I guess I'll... It's always Margarita. What a character. Yes, help me hunt the son of Fenrir, Margarita. So, thanks to my incredibly high personal combat, I can stop Margarita from tripping and falling to her death. That would have been a really sad end to her story. So, I'm a Viking now, good on that. So, we finally have our first inter-family bloodline marriage. And there's this weird thing happening with some of my kids where they only get 2 of my bloodlines. I'm not sure what's up with that. This guy only got Soul Flayer for some reason. Like, I've got no idea why some of my kids just don't have all my bloodlines. It seems really arbitrary to me. Regardless, though, this is my first bloodline carrier intermarriage, so that's good. We're making progress on our dreams. And I can just kill the beast, because I'm just so fucking good. And I want all the prestige right now, more than anything else in the game, so we're gonna burn the carcass. Alright, this kid wasn't important, but she did just sort of catch pneumonia and die the second she came of age. Which is unfortunate for her. This is the 3rd major leader that has asked me to marry a slug to them. Or their immediate family. Gonna keep saying no, though, because I don't care. If she's politically valuable, I don't want to just throw her away like that. My hill forts have just finished. So we can see exactly according to math, 2.2k more guys. And we do in fact run out. Actually, we get exactly enough. Great. And now, with the pillaging underway and our retinues capped, we can finally call the video. Tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of stuff to handle. We have to manage being 17 counties over cap. In fact, we're going to go all the way down to 4 counties using fake viceroyalties for all the ones we care about at least, and possibly all of them full stop. And there's sure to be a lot more management beyond that I haven't really thought about. Come to think of it, I haven't played the marriage game in a while, so I'm ready for that fresh hell. And while I can't imagine that Dag will wage as many wars tomorrow as he did on Inauguration Day, there are definitely some juicy targets that I don't have truces with right now. Pictlin and Strathclyde are looking fairly weak, and I'm certain that I can bulldoze right over them if I'm actually able to devote my full attention to them for more than a couple of months. But all of that's for another day. This has been Rather Incoherent. I hope you've had a good time, and I'll see you around. At some point I'm probably going to change that out for some spiel about like, comment, and subscribe, and then slap it on the front of the video too. You know, like a shill.